Hello guys, so this vision over here may be a little bit familiar to you. In this video I will tackle here a problem about the windows, about the doors. All of the functions of the control units for both front doors are not working, okay? The car already came from another workshops and I have here some cables that are not very presentable, some broken tabs and whatnot. All of the control units were already tested on a specialist and they are okay. And now it's time to me to see what is happening over here, okay? So as you can see, I have already a lot of stuff disassembled and taken apart. I'm trying to do these electrical videos in a different way from now on, because I know that these videos are very long and sometimes can be very boring and difficult to follow. And I'll do close to a recap. I think I found the problem already. It was about 3 hours work to see all of the wiring. I have the electrical charts, the electrical diagrams, yes, but as the cars have different trims, also we have different wiring diagrams, so I had to make sure what was what, and in that way I already have some information for you guys. So as you can see over here, much is disassembled, and I will guide you through on my whiteboard to try to explain you what did I found over here on this car, okay? I'm considering doing the videos, electrical videos like this from now on, because the electrical videos are always very badly received. Not for the length, because I have videos with more than one hour and they are very well received, like the 33, for example, and engines and whatnot. And the electrical videos are always very badly received. So I'll try from now on to do just like this, summarize here what I did so far and try to explain you the best that I can. And let's see if we can find out together over there the problem that I think I found. So here you have it. This is a very resumed diagram of what we need to start to do the diagnosis. So if the control units do not communicate, what will happen is the odometer for the kilometers or the miles of the car will start flashing. Why does it flash? Because the body computer that is attached to this B002 comprehends that one or more units are not communicating. So it advises by flashing the odometer, okay? That is happening. Now, connecting the diagnosis machine, I can confirm that both of these units do not communicate. Okay, very good. Now it's time to see the basics. And what are the basics for every electrical component? An electrical control unit has to have at least one positive and one negative. For both of these ones, it just needs one positive, but it has several negatives, okay? Like I explained you here on the channel so many other times, you have here a power wire from the exit of the B002. The description is down over here, okay? And this comes out through the number 11 of the V socket. These are the original diagrams from Alfa Romeo, okay? The V socket is a black one onto the left of the fuse box. I show you on the car, okay? It goes from here, it powers the 12 volts positive to this control unit and to this control unit, okay? Measuring over here, also number 11, because it is, okay? On the white connector, I think it was, yes, 11 and 7 on the negative, at least one of them, they are the same, okay? Left to right. On left-hand drive cars, on the right-hand drive cars, I do not know, because here in Portugal, we don't have them, okay? And I could saw that between the negative and the positive, I only had, also on that side, okay, it was the same thing. I only had, sorry, 2.5 volts, 2.7, 2.8. So I only have 2.7 volts. But I have the tension of the battery over here, 12.5. So it exits the fuse box, but it cannot reach both of the control units for the doors. So that tells us, but wait a minute, what about the negatives? Okay, So the one way that you can control the negative is you grab a good positive that you know it is very, very good. For example, that very thick wire that goes to the fuse box that only has 2 wires, that wire comes directly from the battery. You, with your multimeter or voltmeter, you touch that positive over there, and then you touch the negative over here, and I saw that I had excellent negatives on both of the control units. Very good. Okay, so you know that we have good grounds. We know that you do not have positive, not enough anyway, 2.7. If you disconnect the connector and measure, you have about 8 volts, which means that you have a problem on wiring most of the times. That being said, you can have a problem on the inside of the fuse box, okay? But with everything connected, I still have there 12.5 volts, and over here 2.5, 2.7 volts. Also, another thing that you have to see is, can network, okay? Because remember, these control units over here, no matter the function that they will perform, no matter what, the power supply is always this one. Only this one also, okay? No matter if you are adjusting the mirrors or adjusting the window, defrosting the mirror, everything in anything, well, some things are not from here, like the central locking. Not all of the functions pass through here. Some do, some do not. And the speaker also, I think it does not come through here. But okay, can you understand this? For this door and this door, the same exact symptom, exactly the same. So what I did was start to see where this wire may be with the problem. Alfa Romeo and Fiat do very, very, very good diagrams. Very good. So if they say that this interconnection over here is grabbing 3 wires, it is because it is. Because, for example, you could have this. Oh, my son always messing with my my pens. This also works perfectly. But in reality, on the car, you will have on that 11 connection 2 wires on the same pin. And you do not have that, okay? You just have 1 wire. Somewhere along the wiring, that interconnection is present. Well, but where? Well, you have to find. You have to dig. You have to dig really hard, like you could saw. On this case, on this car, this interconnection over here is below the carpet of the driver's foot, because there is a spot where, well, basically it splits apart. Okay, it's a perfect for the assembly. It is the perfect place. Yes, for diagnosis, it's awful. Okay, but it is there. I found it. Okay. Now, another thing that you can do, and I did to make sure everything was working, even though I do not have these 12 volts over here, is to grab that powerful 12 volt that I have on the fuse box. Let's call it over here, for example, that 12 volts that came from the battery, that very thick wire, the thickest of them all, next to the fuses, the relays, I'm sorry. A spare wire that I had, and I connected from here to there, over there. Okay, and bling, everything starts working. Everything. And this may tempt you to just cut the wire and do a new one. Please do not do that, because you don't know. On this case it does, but on some cases you do not know if this wire goes to anywhere else. It may not appear on the diagrams, but on reality it may go to somewhere else, and you can burn something. So do not do that, okay? It was just for testing purposes, and it did work. I already saw that the window regulator on the driver's door is finished, completely finished. The wires are all tangled up, and on the passenger door everything works perfectly, okay? So I already have something to tell the customer about that. Okay, now what I'm doing here next on the video is to cut open this interconnection. It has those thermic sleeves that grab once you do the soldering, okay? To protect it, you have that soldering, you have that sleeve that you heat up to shrink up, and the heat shrink, okay? And inside there, you may have some problems on the soldering or something happened over there. Because I also already saw that in between this point and this point over here, everything is good too. It was a little bit confusing to see this wire good, this wire with 12 volts, and all of a sudden nothing. But finally I found here this point. Never so far have I seen a problem on the soldering from the original wiring. Sometimes what I see is, remember that in between over here you have an interconnection that is the door, the driver's door and the passenger door. So you have that plug, the physical plug that you see, okay? And right behind the plug, on both sides, you can have problems because on one side the wiring is constantly moving and it can break, and on the other side, for example, contamination with water, because these cars do leak water because of the inner sheet metal of the doors, like I told you, okay? And you can have problems over here. And imagine this, you have the 12 volts that come from the relay box, and this interconnection is not over here. It's right, so one goes over here and another one goes over here. This happens on French cars a lot. So you can have a problem here on this interconnection on the driver's door or passenger door, and affects both doors. Another thing that I see a lot on French cars, and we are getting to that because of the junction of FCA with PSA, is somewhere along the way, on the middle of the control stack, for example, you have over here a junction, just a junction. It breaks, the wires break along the way. Okay, I could have this problem over here. Just imagine this, I have the wires over here, okay, and on the junction box, a second wire comes to here. If you have a problem on the junction box, you have 12 volts all the way and not for the control units. Well, I believe this is a little bit easier to start the video with this, than to show you all of that spaghetti on the screen, because it is a little bit confusing and daunting. Yes, it is. You have to be very, very concentrated, because I have a second wire on number 13. In some diagrams, this is not 11, it's 13, it's switched out. The 13 goes to the control unit, that goes to the back doors and the trunk, being SW or sedan is the same, okay? And that controls another control unit. On some diagrams, this 13 is switched out with the 11. And this wiring goes along the way, the two wires go together until the B pillar. It's very far away. And I was a bit confused by why does this wire has to go so far? Why? And it was little, God. But then I found out that the wire actually did a loop and then did go back again and went to the other side of the car. Again, if you have any questions about this, on the comments below, please ask me about this and I will try to answer you the best that I can, okay? So this is the D connector over here, and we have, well, I just took out here this clip-on thing. So this is number 11 and this is 13. The 13 goes to the back of the car for the control unit for the back doors and the boot, and this 11 one goes to both of the driver's door. So the wire goes there, does a loop over here, and then from here it veers to the inside of the car to the other door over there. So after some digging, I saw that this piece of wire over here, I'll show you in a minute more closely, has the soldering on the inside. So I will cut it no matter what, and I do this on the bench to see better, okay? Now let me tell you something. Before opening this up, you have to be very, very sure of your troubleshooting and your diagnosis, because imagine that we open this up and we see nothing. Well, sometimes with the naked eye, you really see nothing. And you really have to be very sure that you have a problem on this area. So I know I have on one wire over here, I have the tension of the battery. I have the interconnection on the inside, or the soldering. And for this door and for that door, I have only 2.5 volts. So even if we do not find anything on the inside, I know that probably in a manner that I cannot see on the naked eye, it has a problem. Every time you are using heat shrink, make sure to use one that has glue on the inside, like this one. If it has no glue, it will not seal at all. What seals is the glue, not the heat shrink. Oh, I see. I see corrosion. Yay! It's a boy, I think. So how can this happen? The wire is broken. We found the problem, fortunately. And yes, just this thing, okay? Now, how did the water enter? Well, it can surely try to enter through here. It is close to the ground anyway. But another way that can enter is traveling through the wires. In this case, the wire seems a little bit healthy, so probably it was really a bad connection. While the iron is heating up, let me talk about here something. If you have problems with water over here, I already have a video for that. This car has that problem. Water will be soaking this area, and that issue was caused because of this, okay? I'm almost 100% sure of that. Why almost 100%? I already seen on some cars, not this one, this rubber seal over here missing. If this rubber seal is not here, water will enter through the connectors, and the interior connectors do not have seals, and we have contamination on the wires. Mind you, that wires were only the problem was located only on the junction over there, okay? So I believe the problem was just the floor of the car with the humidity moist because of the driver's door over here, or the passenger door, or whatever it may be, okay? So beware of your water leaks. If you have water leaks onto the car, make sure to deal with that in a hurry, because it will cause another issue, okay? Haha! As you can see, I already have lights. I will not operate the window of the... just a bit, okay? The driver's door, because the lift is bad. The regulator, but... oh, it's disconnected. Okay. the other connector for that door is disconnected. I will do it in a bit, okay? So everything works except there. So the mirror works. Okay, this does not have a lot of functions. Everything works now. On the passenger door, I have to connect here the connector. And okay, works fine. The motor is loose. Look at the motor. It's a little bit loose. I can do some adjustment over here and put the cover in. On the other door I have another problem. I believe something did happen on this door. I do not have the sensor for the anti-crushing. Maybe someone ripped it apart, because the connector is here and on the other door it is there. So I will not cover this up just now. I will wait for the answer for the customer for the window regulator and the sensor over here. It has to be a new or used in good condition rubber. Okay, for this I already did videos and they are down on the description. I also will take advantage of this to redo here the wire. This is a mess. I really hope you like this video. It was very interesting to do. No two problems are the same. As you can see now, it works perfectly on this button. As you can see, no two problems are the same. But if you have on your 159 an issue where you have low voltage on the signal wire, that is this red and yellow one, not signal wire, the 12-volt wire, and this is the ground, the black one. If you do not have the tension of the battery, you may have the problem similar to this one. So guys, down in the description you have a lot of stuff that can and will be useful for you, including videos related to solutions of electrical problems, and also for crank no start. I'm doing here a video for the repair of this engine, for example. It is a 2.4 liter. I have videos for the soft top of those cars for the repair. That one is waiting for a cock for the electrical motor for the flap. And that's it. Again, down in the description, a lot of stuff that can and will be useful for you, including videos related to this one. Also, down in the description you have links for helps for the channel if you are able to do so. I see you next time, guys. Bye.